Before the Tales from the Far Territory expansion was initially released, before it was even announced, and even before the idea of a paid expansion was introduced to the Long Dark community, there were echoes of the strange outbreak that infected the people inside the Langston mine dating as far back as 2021. In Wintermute Episode 4, Fury Then Silence, there are remnants of a mystery that made no sense at the time. This video is about the lost substation worker, Sam, a survivor of the Langston mine outbreak. Before I continue, please make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so I can keep making these videos. Before you continue watching, I would recommend you watch this video if you haven't already, which will provide you everything you need to know about the Langston mine outbreak. It will be linked on the top right of the screen and in the description. Sam's story begins with the Lost Power Worker's side quest from episode 4. By entering the Old Substation, you can find the Old Substation work memo. It reads as follows. Letterhead from a prison support company subcontractor. Linda, I know this is a touchy subject for you given it's just you and him trading shifts this season, but please take a hard look at Sam when you see him. His check-ins are getting more infrequent and less coherent by the week. We're doing our best down here in Central to get you guys some more help this year, but you know how that goes these days. This note introduces us to the two workers at the substation, Linda and Sam. It tells us that Sam was supposed to be getting medical checkups on a regular basis, but he started going less often. Being less coherent is an interesting detail which will be important later on. The quest then has you find the two lost workers. You can find both Linda and Sam in separate places across Blackrock. With each worker, you can find their respective ID card. With Sam, you will find an additional note. The lost worker note reads as follows. A page of a journal torn out. Keep writing. Writing helps me focus, and focus keeps me still. I can't remember why I'm here, what I do, or who this woman is. I think we work together? I know her, I think. She watches me scribble this stuff down, but she smiles. Does she know? I try and watch her work on the machines when I wake up. I copy her movements when she goes to bed. She tells me things, but they fade unless I write them down. Like the wind picks them up and takes them far away. I keep seeing a river in my head, rushing water to the edge of something, into a deep, foggy place. I just can't remember anymore. The reason why I asked you to make sure you understand the Langston mine outbreak is because Sam is clearly a survivor of the outbreak. He is displaying signs that match perfectly with the various symptoms of the outbreak. Sam is writing to keep his focus. He is observing Linda perform her duties at the old substation and mimicking what she is doing because he can't remember what to do. Any information he takes in disappears unless he writes it down. He is becoming less coherent as noted in the first note, meaning he is probably making less and less sense when he talks. He is also dreaming about water. All of these are signs that Sam was in the Langston mine during Rudiger's experiment. The mention of water alone is very important here because it was incredibly common across all the victims of the outbreak and the various notes they left behind. Again, check out the Langston mine outbreak video if you really want to understand the significance of water here. It is the key that connects Sam to the outbreak. Looking at his ID card, the text reads that he is an electrician. Considering the construction of the machine and the involvement of multiple generators, the project needed this skill set. It is also known that the medical officer of the project is the one to tell the victims of the outbreak to write. Writing keeps him focused. There is no doubt he was there. It seems that Sam survived up to or just before the first flare, meaning he made it 40 years after being exposed to the machine. It seems that he was reaching the end stage of the outbreak symptoms. It's possible he had very little exposure and left early, minimizing the damage. If this is the case, it means that any amount of exposure would be catastrophic and time would allow for more damage. Unfortunately, there is no way of knowing how he actually survived this long. While this is where Sam's story ends, there is another interesting note that was released in episode 4 that is suspiciously related. The conspiracy theories note, which is something I forgot about, is of interest here when it comes to the topic of the Langston mine outbreak and any possible survivors. It seems that Sam wasn't the only one. I'll be covering this note in the next lore video. If you want to catch up on any lore I've already covered, you can check out the various playlists for the history of the Long Dark, Wintermute, Rudiger's project, the people and places of Great Bear Island, and the buffer memories. They will all be linked in the description. If you enjoyed this lore video for the Long Dark, please don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so I can keep making them.